生活非常狗血，就怕绯闻上了首页。娱乐圈我要离得远，做了坏事逃不过场敌的人，不能成为别人的道具，被用来嫁衣，随意能抛弃，不会被考虑。
As we wait for the NBA season to pick back up, fans are turning to NBA 2K to get them through the downtime.
And we've got, well, great story, DA. Thank you. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. As you take a look at Charlotte, right now they're in 7th in the conference, looking to build on their record. And, of course, there's the Bulls. They're tied right now.
When I look at the Bobcats, they've shown me some very good things this season. But that next step, those qualities that could make them true contenders, just haven't been there.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're disappointed in that. I mean, they were hoping to take that next step.
So the Bobcats starting 5. DeMarcus Cousins out there with J.R. Smith. Then it's Randall. Then there's Towns, and it's Ayton in at the 5. And for Chicago, Jonas Valanciunas is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. Then it's Josh Richardson. Then there's Irving, and it's Davis in at the 2 guard. It's Richardson on the wing, defended by Towns. Randall against Richardson. He kicks to Aldridge. 4 on the shot clock. Towns with the defensive effort. Here's the Bobcats with the ball.
Hey, they had their opportunities, but let's face it, they choked from the line. Hard to win that way on the road.
Yeah, Greg, and maybe the crowd had an effect on them. I mean, who knows? I mean, they looked uncomfortable at the line. Yeah, Kevin, last season was not a successful one for the Bulls. I mean, they had the 5th worst record in the NBA, although it got them a nice draft pick. But it was another step in a long rebuilding process.
Here's Smith, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Outside, Towns. Here's Cousins. Outside for Randall. Charlotte needs to get a shot up. Puts up a 3. Keeps it alive. Randall on the follow.
Ooh, this is what makes Randall so special. His ferocity on the boards is admirable.
Pass to Aldridge. Richardson outside. Lets a floater go. And the rejection by Towns. Aldridge, good. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. And for the Bulls, Chris, they had a young team and they knew it wasn't their time.
Yeah, the team decided to move on from the Hoiberg era as well, Kevin. I mean, they dealt with a lot of injuries during last season, and the team is still searching for an identity.
And it's Davis with the ball for Chicago. They trail by 1. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
Yeah, those road games are tricky, but they had a good strategy going in and stuck to what they do best.
Well, staying with your game plan is so important, especially when you are away from your home arena.
Here's Cousins. That shot off the mark. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. And this matchup with the Bobcats, it's their first meeting of the season. And it's denied.
Tremendous at anticipating when shots are going up. Ayton is outstanding at protecting the rim.
And there's Randall on the assist by Towns.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
Now, here is Irving. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. Aldridge left side. Back to Irving. Lets the 3 fly. Connects from 3-point range. Irving's got 5 now.
Look, Irving rarely misses from downtown, even way outside. He's a knockdown threat.
Smith feeling it out a bit. Down low, Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, great flow to that possession. 2 players totally in sync with each other.
Now here's Irving. From deep. And that's the final possession with the nice defense right there. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Bobcats lead by 2. From the United Center in...
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And from what we've been watching here, guys, with the Bobcats, what do you two see?
Well, this is the edge that great rim protection can give you.
Showing no mercy right now. The shooters look frustrated, seeing so many of their shots get stifled.
Aldridge out there with Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Irving. And there's Davis. And it's Richardson. And at the 3, that's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, C.J. McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. And Kevin, LaMarcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, D.A., and he is still getting it done. Thank you.
And for a player with his size, Towns has always been very comfortable at the free throw line. And that's a good thing because he finds himself there quite a bit.
Great value in rim protection, Chris. Talk about some of the characteristics that you have seen and you use yourself in being a good shot blocker.
Well, your reputation precedes you as a shot blocker. So as a shot blocker, you've already blocked enough shots that everyone knows, hey, I'm Rudy Gobert. Don't come in here unless you want to get that shot swatted out of the way. My name's Joel Embiid. Did you see my highlights of last game? So really what I'm saying is a shot blocker is always in your thought process. I still have nightmares about Mutombo. Oh, come on,
I bet.
Go to the next. Go to the next one, please. Come on. Get off shot blockers.
Lets it go from 14. Second shot opportunity. It's rebounded by Towns. Bobcats leading by 8. Randall passes to Smith. Inside. Here's Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
Yeah, and Greg, they've been a more cohesive team over this stretch, and that helps account for their lead.
And the shot is good. Valanciunas has got his first bucket of the night.
Oh, I love the rabid intensity right there. Valanciunas, he is capable of doing real damage on the offensive boards.
To the paint. Here's Towns. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Cousins has got 3 assists now in this one. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
They get it again.
If he was shooting even a little bit better, the story of this game would be a lot different.
Doesn't go for him. Nice D from Valanciunas. Davis, the pass to Richardson. Got a hand on it.
And you want more of this. When Randall makes an effort on defense, he's capable of blocking shots.
Bulls shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers. And in a league that's obsessed with threes and layups, LaMarcus Aldridge defying the trend, really feasting on a steady diet of mid-range jumpers.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. Here's Randall. And so it looks like the Bobcats will retain possession here. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Towns, no luck.
Their movement is good, and they get the ball into the right hand. Now, usually he drops those in between jumpers.
Here's Richardson. The Bobcats pull it in. Randall's got 4 rebounds now tonight. The drive by Smith, and he uses the glass on the layup. Smith's got the lead up to 10 now for Charlotte.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And here is Irving. From deep three-point range. And so it's Charlotte going into the break. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, for the Bobcats, Shaq, let's get your insight on the visiting team.
Because
And that does it for our...
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. Karl Anthony Towns with a strong contribution so far in this one.
you just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Yeah, working the ball, getting clean, quality looks. I mean, just efficient basketball through and through.
Here's who James Borrego is starting the second half with. Julius Randle is out there with Karl Anthony Towns. Then there's J.R. Smith. Then it's DeAndre Ayton, and it's Cousins in at the 1. It's all in by the Bulls.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Davis against Smith. Davis dishes to Valanciunas. And it's blocked. Outside, Towns. And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
For Charlotte, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. Bulls trail by 13.
Well, Jim Boylen, he won the Chicago head coaching job after his interim stint. The fans were unsure of the hire, but the front office believes in him moving forward.
Passes it to Aldridge. Double team on Aldridge, and the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Irving against Cousins. Shot clock at 5. Valanciunas trying to free himself up.
And the intensity of Cousins isn't limited to just offense. His defense has really improved thanks to how he contests shots.
Back to Towns, and Towns throws it down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And for Boylen, Chris, he's been a bit demanding on his roster.
Yeah, Kevin, it's going to be tough. He's tasked with molding this young Bulls core. I mean, the front office wanted a hard-nosed coach. They believe they found their guy with Boylen's approach. Don't forget about this fella for a second. He is the definition of dangerous.
To the wing on the left. Cousins inside, covered by Irving. Yep, that one goes. Cousins has got his second bucket of the night.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Irving passes to Aldridge, and the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That's foul number 2 for him. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Here's Aldridge. Here's Valanciunas. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And his native Lithuanian, Jonas Valanciunas, is the star for his national team, making his debut at age 19, becoming the leader for his country.
And the emphasis on mobility, a challenge for lumbering 7-footers like Valanciunas.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be the quickest when you're 7 feet tall, Kevin. I mean, in order to earn his keep, he has to be dominant inside. I mean, he has that capability.
Here's Randle, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Richardson's running.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way and get a great look.
Smith kicks to Cousins. Outside, Towns. Six on the shot clock. Back to Cousins. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. 7 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Davis, the pass to Irving. Drains it from beyond the arc. Irving's got 10.
I like how Irvin fills the defense out. He's sensing he has room to shoot and fire once he gets the rock.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside, Towns. Aldridge against Randall. They get it back. Cousins, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
When Cousins has the rock inside, he's ridiculously efficient. He just has such power when he has the ball down low.
And so it's Charlotte up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And we'll be back with you shortly. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Bulls trail by 12. Our 4th quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So the Bulls 5 right now. We've got LaMarcus Aldridge. Davis is out there with Irving. Then there's Richardson. And it's Valanciunas in its center. Smith against Davis. Pass to Cousins. Back to Towns. Smith up top. Clock at 6. Count that bucket. Fans broadcasters love to see teams get out and attack in transition. Would you like to see the league crack down on intentional fouls that will halt that break, slow down that break, stifle that break?
No, because the home fans or the fans of the team that's fouling doesn't want that team to get out and get an easy 2 points. I mean, we still have to have defense in the game, so anything that takes away from teams scoring, you just can't say, well, we want to watch them score, don't do it. No. And very honestly, if you're an unselfish team, usually on those breaks, it's usually because a player holds the ball too long.
Right.
Usually they have another open player in front of them that they can pass it up to. And if you're an unselfish team, usually you'll still give the fans what they want. And that's a crazy highlight in the game. And they're gonna have to pay closer attention to him beyond the arc. I mean, he's got 2 threes in this half, a total of 3 overall.
Cousins dishes to Towns. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. And the Bobcats lead by 11.
Oh, he's one of the best passing 5s in the game. I mean, think about this. Cousins doesn't get enough credit for being unselfish on the floor.
The Bobcats have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started. And then Cousins with the dunk.
He does all the little things. I mean, he does the big things. He's got them in front with another outstanding performance.
Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
Story of their game right here. One sloppy play after another.
We've got 1:55 left to play in the final quarter. The pass to Towns. Towns is doubled. Doesn't go that time. Good work defensively by Richardson. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the Chicago Bulls. It's a 13-point game. 1:30 left in the 4th quarter. Here's Towns. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for Charlotte.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Karl Anthony Towns.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns.
And that's a gift if I've ever seen one. They've got to communicate much better out there.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Here's Hart. 32 seconds left in the 4th. Right wing. Pass to Crowder. Just 5 on the clock. Here's one. And that one goes long. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
Bradley deciding where to go with it. So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. This was all right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks.
Como Carmelo en el Utah, tenía